Alrighty, welcome to week 12 of Programize. This will be the last week of videos since I've given you all 12 weeks. One, because you've now had enough videos of how things should look in terms of how things will be overall, in the sense of where we're looking to try and do things, what are the main things we look at, and what is the essence of why we do the things that we do. So that's that. And then secondly, because 99% of you literally do not watch, so there's little point in giving more time to these things if very few are getting any benefit or want to get a benefit out of it. So without further ado, we will finish up week number 12. We're starting the first part of the week with a toasted bar skill work. So we're going to go A-band, lat pull down, full core compression, and then hollow rocks with 10 Superman. The idea in terms of this is going to build into the next part of the workout, which is going to be snatches. The idea of learning the core compression, everyone's going to be like, oh, it's going to fatigue me out for a bit of the EMOM at the end. Yes, that will naturally happen. However, the ability to truly compress and get that core into position gives you a better toasted bar. So learning that means that when you go into the toasted bar workout coming next, you actually have that skill already there that's been built up from what you're doing. The hollow rocks and the 10 Superman are there as a way to actually also once again build positional awareness. So it's like, yes, you'll be coming in fatigue and then you're going to overload it. However, you only have 8 sets over here, so it's a little bit easier in that sense. Now, the workout itself is just the EMOM, so it's every minute on the minute for 16 minutes. We're going with 8 snatches, and you can see that the idea here is unbroken, and that's exactly what we kind of effectively want to be looking for, which is that the barbell cycling is moved unbroken every single round. So you're going to see that you're going to be fatigued from a grip perspective from obviously the snatch and the toasted bar, so obviously hook grip is going to make a big difference overall, but if you try to rush this too much, it's also going to be too much of a problem. Key is don't use your hands to do the pulling on the snatches. You use your legs, that's what they're there for, and kind of dip under and really get a nice solid workout. The toasted bar obviously don't have to be unbroken, so you could do sets of 5 and 5, you could do 7 and 3, 6 and 4, whatever you like on that side of things. In that minute, it's enough time to get your 10 toasted bars, so don't worry too much about that. All of this is, as you can see here at the end, this is all about developing barbell cycling as well as gymnastics control. So that's going to be the big thing. Your Tuesday, we've got some headstand work. So we're going to start with in terms of like a crow pose. And our biggest thing is trying to learn how to tripod, head transfer, and then kind of go to an L tuck and everything. So the videos, when you click on them, you won't be seeing them here. When you click on them, you'll have a very good view in terms of where we're going on that. And the idea is to give us a different form of skill to practice. We're always trying to do things specifically more CrossFit based, but the essence of CrossFit is all skills are within the continuum, and the idea is to learn more things that are just outside of what we use inside of a workout. In terms of that, we have a part A, part B. This is simulating your open, right? That means that you need to be able to get through part A to do part B. If you don't do part A and can't finish in the 6-minute time cap, you don't do part B. Oh, I don't like that. Yes, that's the point. It's for you to learn to not only be able to push your position, be efficient, but also to scale effectively. As I put this right here, if you come in at 2 minutes, you are doing yourself a disservice. The idea here is to be able to take a volume and give you a goal. You need to be able to push through the goal and get to it, so now you can unlock the next part. It is the same thing in every aspect of life, that you cannot just become a doctor because, hey, look, I decided I want to call myself a doctor. Be like, oh, have you done a medical degree? Yes. Perfect. Did you finish it? Yes, you're a doctor. Anything else? You're not a doctor. Pretty simple. You've got gates along the way to get through, and this is teaching us not only how to scale correctly, but also how to apply intensity at the right aptitude to get to the correct outcome. So that's going to be obviously a beautiful Tuesdays. Wednesdays is actually going to be a very nice one. I like this week a lot, to be fair. Everyone's always like, oh, because it's built for you. No, it's just because I enjoy certain things a little bit more. So we have 2 clean pulls and 2 hang power cleans. So this is going to be a little progression from what we did. I think it was maybe a Tuesday or a Friday. Can't remember which one it was. But what we did was 2 clean pulls plus 1 hang power, and now we added 2 hang powers on it. We're keeping the same weight across all 4 sets. And this, once again, is learning how to get that shrug position in your pull and actually keep close contact. And then so it's like, how do I create the contact? Where do I do that position? And then use that to help create explosion into hang power clean. So that's going to be in that position. Then for Wednesday's beautiful hitter in the middle of the week, we have a buy-in and buy-out, both with 200 double unders on both ends of this. This is going to require a lot of people to be smooth, calm, collected, something a lot of people after their workday definitely aren't, but it's something I do need you to try. And the big thing here, as you can see, I've given the scaling option, so 300 single unders, so that way I can kind of line up time-wise, because you doing 200 single unders is going to do jack shit. 100 double under attempts or 230-ish as a cap for double unders. And the reason why is that, give or take, if you had to do 100 double unders unbroken, for majority of people it's going to take them in around 1 minute and 10 to do. Surprisingly, people don't realize how quick you can do double unders. So that's going to be the big thing there. If you're taking longer than 2.5 minutes, that will be your time to cap it and then start your 5 rounds. The 5 rounds of dumbbell DT is often easier than barbell DT. This is why this is placed in, so people get used to doing DT, which is 5 rounds of 12 deadlifts, hang power cleans, and dumbbell push jerks. And as you can see, the weights is going to be the same across all. I've given a little strategy in terms of how you transition here, so that's all there to help you. And then the buy-out. Big thing about this one is your heart rate's going to be set high from the start, and you're going to have some shoulder fatigue as well as a little bit of grip fatigue. You need to be able to manage that and manage getting through this. Smooth is fast in this position, not fast and janky and throw everything around the place. So be smart in terms of how you break this. And I think the big thing for a lot of people is going to be managing grip fatigue. So don't overly grip the dumbbells. That's going to be a big killer. But you have the ability to move relatively quick through this. So enjoy this, come up with a strategy and try and do your best to stick to the strategy. Your Thursdays, we have a little groiner. That's a nice one for the groins. We have a max set of 2 push-ups. So we add both rounds together. Now, chest must touch the fucking ground, yeah? That means that if you're unsure of what it feels like, and I should be literally naming, I've got like a list of 20 people who like to say they do a push-up, but clearly don't. If you cannot get your chest to touch the ground, use a box or do a bar push-up, so that way you can feel what it's like to touch the ground. It's like, oh, I don't like that because I can do a push-up. No, if your chest doesn't touch the ground, you ain't doing a push-up. You're just making love to the carpet. So we're going to do 2 max sets. We have 2 minutes between round. Not sure why it's not showing up here. Let me quickly. Okay, there you go. Oh, gosh, there you go. So it is there, but it ain't showing up. I'll just put that here. And then that way we don't have any questions. So that was going to be there. Your Thursday is actually going to be one of our easiest in terms of time domain, but also it's going to be a simple one in terms of what it's going to require to do it. And the reason why is you have every 3 sets for 5 minutes. You have an 800-meter run. So if you get it done quicker, you get more time off. Now, as you can see here, I've kind of given you the idea here, which is I want you to increase efforts across the 800. So your 800 should be quicker as time goes on. You shouldn't have an 800, say, that starts with, for instance, 3 on the dot, and then your third one is 340. It needs to be split. I want us getting faster as we get on, not slower as we get on. A lot of us tend to overshoot the first one. We get excited and we, pre-ejaculate through everything. The key here is negative splits, because you actually are becoming more efficient, and efficiency is better. When you become better, you can then narrow the range. So say you start with a 305, 304, 303. You can even get closer to that where you do 304, 304, 301. You can do intervals like that. The biggest key here is a negative split. Then what we're going to be going into is every 3 minutes for 5 sets, 200-meter run, which should take you less than a minute. And then your 100-meter, 80-meter row. These are sprints. That means that if you take a minute on this every 3 minutes, you kind of would like a break. So that means you need to get this done as quickly as you can. And as you can see it this way, we start at a moderate set, we build across it, then we go on the same set across all 5 reps. Should be sets, but it doesn't matter. The idea is that we should be very hard to sustain, but we should do everything we can to sustain it. So this is about negative splitting. This is, can we hold on to sustained up? Your Saturday. Your Friday is going to be a nice one in terms of we doing a tempo overhead squat. So we bring that tempo back in terms of 3 seconds down, 3 seconds up. 3 seconds is 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. No, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So take your time, work in a position, have the shoulders open, make sure you push up into the bar and keep that whole body in a stable position. That's going to be the big thing, is it keeping that stability. And then when you go into your workout, which is going to be pushing that strict gymnastic strength in there. So we're going to have 12, 8, and 6 nice little drops. So 12 and 9 strict pull-ups. So 12 for the men, 9 for the women. 8 burpees over the dumbbell, nice and simple. And then 6 left arm dumbbell snatch into 8 meters overhead walking lunge. So nice and easy. So you walk across the gym, snatch on that side, walk across with the dumbbell over. Easy, nothing too crazy. This is going to be a big thing in terms of shoulder fatigue and upper body fatigue. You need to be smart in terms of how you take a break and everything. I've given some ring row option there with a tempo, just so that way it works to a straight pull up instead of you just yanking yourself and doing a worm on the rings. So that's going to be that. The Saturday one is, this is going to hurt. So we have toes to bar at the end of the week again for those on Saturday. However, we've added a front squat and ground to shoulder to overhead. The idea with shoulder to overhead is that you can use a snatch, you can use it clean, you can push press it, you can push jerk it. It's your choice in how you want to get it overhead, so you can use it to your advantage. So often the easy way in the beginning, because you have 20 rounds, so 10 rounds each, often the easy way in the beginning will be a snatch. When that fatigue's out, you can push jerk. If someone who has good resilience on push jerk, you start with push jerk. If you have push press at the end, it's purely up to you on how you want to do it. The only one I would highly not recommend would be a strict press on this side. So you have 4K row, you're going to split however you want. So what that means is that you could go for 250 splits, 500 meter splits, and you just go I go, you go in that type of position. And then that means that when you're doing the Saturday part, you're doing 1 full round, partner goes, 1 full round, partner goes. So we always have a nice cardiac buy-in there. And then it's, can you sustain that with some of the growth fatigue and overall fatigue from that? But otherwise, that is our 12 weeks officially finished. Hope everyone's had a wonderful time, and catch you on the salsa side.